Welcome back, everyone. Welcome to JW World News. Today is Friday. What day is it today? Friday, the 27th, September
Yes,
27th.
yes.
So, what's new today?
Well, Hurricane Helene passed last night.
We were worried about you.
Oh yeah, no. When I looked at the forecast, I don't know why everybody was so like anxious about that because I was like, it's not even gonna hit my side of Tampa. It's gonna go to Tallahassee. It's just gonna, they
Mhm.
call that like the Big Bend. So I was like, I'm nowhere near there. Why is everybody calling me and sending me messages about the storm? Um, it was just a regular like a tropical storm. There was wind, yeah, but it was not that bad. I think that people hyped it up a lot and like they were putting notices on everybody's door. And to me, that kind of felt like fear mongering.
Mhm.
How because we have that experience of the
Mhm.
the propaganda of the literature saying have your emergency bag, have a to-go bag, always be
Mhm.
prepared to pick up and leave. And I'm done with that kind of fear. I'm not afraid of things. I'm not afraid
Yeah.
of natural disasters anymore. I'm like, okay, it's just a storm. I'm gonna hunker down and wait it out.
Mhm.
And so it was fine. It just passed over. Now Georgia, what other states? Louisiana, Alabama, Tennessee. When it was going up north, that's when I was like, you should be worried about them because that storm was spiraling, up north and
Mhm.
Mexico too. Mexico and like the Gulf,
Really?
that area. So thankfully it just passed us and it was fine. It was just
Mhm.
the power didn't go out, thankfully, and nothing happened. But they closed the schools for 3 days.
Mhm. Really?
Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday. Yeah, so all the schools were closed,
Mhm.
all the businesses were closed, even the 24-hour laundromat was closed for a rainstorm. And I was like, man, okay, so everything's closed. Then I'm gonna have us Floridians, we call it a hurricane party. We have a party, people
Really?
barbecue, people go, yeah, we have hurricane parties. So
Really?
I said, you know what? Since the school is closed, I'm gonna take advantage of the days off of school because I follow the school year with my homeschooling. So I told them that you
Mhm.
have 3 free days of vacation, no schoolwork, no
Oh,
nothing.
did
We're
you? You
gonna,
told the kids that? Your
yeah,
kids?
yeah,
Oh,
no schoolwork. We're
okay.
just gonna watch the rain and just relax. So we were just enjoying the rain.
We went out the other night and we had a big thunderstorm. I don't know, the weather all over I think is turmoil is right now. So there's a big storm blowing through all the way down to California, all the way up to our where we are. There's a storm. It looks like on the map. Well, I think Ontario was all the way down to California. But anyways, we went out the other night and we were storm watching, lightning, sheet lightning, lightning, and then you feel a raindrop or two, and then you go inside and you hear it pour. We're in this shipping container, right? So you hear everything. And oh, you guys thought I was in an office? Oh, that's just fake. Oh, look, it does work. You see, I pulled back the screen. Because it's the way I did it on StreamYard. We can put fake backgrounds in. So if I go with the green screen, now I see I have a green screen. You see on my thing. So now you see the corners of my green screen. So I got to pull my computer close. And then I
Yeah.
take my green screen and I go like this. This is the real McCoy. Do you have a green screen? Do you use a green
Yeah,
screen?
I have
Yeah.
one behind me, but I gotta get better lighting so that it doesn't look so like the way it looks right now. I don't know why it looks like
Well,
that.
your lighting is really good on your green screen. I always have trouble with my lighting, but
Because I have like a light right in front of me, like on the
oh
desk.
yeah, yeah.
But I mean
Well,
like
it's
a
good.
standing light that
Oh, I
gives
see.
light overhead. Yeah, that's the
Okay.
only thing I
Yeah.
need. Yeah.
But anyways, we were worried last night. We went to bed. We heard on the news 2 foot waves, devastating waves hitting Tampa.
Yeah.
Everyone, this is what the news tells us up here in Canada, right? This is what we hear about. We didn't know you were having a picnic and a barbecue.
Yeah, hurricane parties. But that was downtown Tampa, definitely flooded. They did get
Yeah,
flooded in. But I'm on the outskirts of Tampa because Hillsborough County is so big that I'm
yeah,
so inland of in the hills, in the
yeah.
county. I'm all the way to the west of that coast. So,
Oh yeah.
or like east, I think. I don't know. I don't even know my directions. Sorry, I don't know. But that's like downtown. I'm on the outskirts, so
Yeah.
we're good.
Well, it's rain season all over the world, so or in our country, North America, it's rainy season. So this is what we expect. It's good that you guys take it in stride. That makes me feel better now when I watch the news. You know,
Yeah,
I know news tends to dramatize things. That's how you get the hits, right? Even on our channels, you know, if you
exactly.
put out a video on love, you get 2 hits. You put out a video about
Exactly.
get the org, you get like a gazillion hits. You know, org is falling. You know, well, we got to be careful with a lot of that. I try to make a lot of cartoons and what do they call them? Satires. Satires. This is I do run a satire channel. I do have it listed in my descriptions that I make satires. So I will have things crumbling down, but those get hits if but the loved ones don't. I'm sorry.
Right, because
Oh,
people react to that. They don't always
yeah,
react on the love, the emotion of love,
yeah,
because we're not used to that. We're
no,
only used to reacting to our fears,
yeah,
to our anxiety or depressions, or those
mm,
triggers is what gets us. We have to rewire our brains to function and to react to love, like you said,
yeah,
love, emotions of love and caring
yeah,
and kindness. And because I wasn't used to that either, I
mm,
never actually had to do that. I was only reacting on fear all the time. So your body gets used to that
yeah,
adrenaline rush of that flight or fight,
yeah,
and you're always in that. And that's unhealthy for you, like physically. It's you could
mm,
get sick, you could become sick, and I'm done with that. So I like
yeah,
that's why literally nothing bothers me. Like, to be honest, nothing offends me and nothing bothers me, because that I turned off that reaction feature that was ingrained in us to always react to
mhm,
that. And now I'm just like at peace. I have like that inner
mm.
peace that like Kung Fu Panda. He's like
Well,
inner peace.
I wished I had a little bit more of that.
It took me
Um,
10 years. 10
one of
years
the
to get
one of the
there.
things that I found with myself, and as I did more research on myself, there's a psychology part of it. It's a defense mechanism, the unconscious psychological operation that functions to protect a person. It functions automatically in us from anxiety producing thoughts, right? So, we get out of the org, and there's even more anxiety getting out of the org, right? Because you're now being shunned. And now you're wondering, I know when I initially got out of the org, you actually have all this stuff in your head. And I thought maybe Satan's coming after me or something. I thought that, right? We think things like that because of all of that cult programming. So we get out, we have all these anxiety producing thoughts and feelings, all related to internal conflicts and outer stressors. So what do? You know what I did? I immersed myself into creating a fictional fantasy, and I actually believed it for a while. I was afraid to put it online or put it out. I believed my own BS. And what happens is when we get out, our brains say, "Okay, you have permission now. You have permission, Vern. You've did everything you can. You've left that organization. You now have permission to explore." And then, due to the defense mechanism, I wrote a bunch of books. They're interesting books. But now that I look at them, I sit back, it's been 7 years now. I'm looking at these books, and it was all a defense mechanism. And I'm wondering how much of our reality becomes that. If you had talked to my good wife, I was living a false reality for a lot of years until I started to really wake up. Anyways, it's an interesting journey. Let's get on to the news. Everyone's on here. There's 25 people on now. And say
Hello,
hi to Ricky
everybody.
Bobby. Hello, Ricky Bobby, Eric. Hi, Becky. Becky? San Diego Pimo was saying hi to Becky.
Mm-hmm.
So we have a few people on. You had some news. I have some news. Who wants to go first?
I could give a quick update.
Sure.
It's not that great news, not that great, but just an update about Warwick Pimo. Um, and this is coming from Reddit and also Twitter. That's where I found it. And I know it's in a different language. I could play the video if you want. It's only 3 minutes. but the translation of it is here. Case of Mauricio. Can you see my screen? Okay, you can. So Mauricio's case came to an end this past week. And so ultimately, the three elders that were a part of the case that were supposed to give testimony, against his alleged, statements that they held him against his will, they threatened him, they tried to take his devices away from him because he was exposed to be the one releasing information that he wasn't supposed to, because he used to work at the Bethel as a translator. And so they have been acquitted. I'm trying to see here. So I could play it. It's in a different language.
Sure. Yep.
But I could play it for whoever knows Portuguese.
Testemunhas de Jeová dos crimes de ameaça e acesso ilegítimo de que era acusado por parte do antigo membro da congregação. O tribunal diz não ter encontrado elementos de prova dos crimes imputados.
No, I'll have another coffee.
Em sede da primeira secção criminal do Tribunal Distrital de Macinga, os crimes de ameaça e acesso ilegítimo que a Igreja Testemunhas de Jeová era acusada por Mauricio Fernando, antigo tradutor da organização religiosa. E por via disso, o juiz da causa, Arsénio Yanombe, decidiu por absolver os 3 membros séniores da Igreja que tinham sido constituídos arguidos no processo crime.
Pelo exposto, em nome da República de Moçambique, a primeira secção do Tribunal Judicial do Distrito de Macinga julga a acusação por não procedente, por não provada e, por conseguinte, absolver os arguidos José Adriano Paulo, Orlando Semen Magaíça e Adilson Domingos por insuficiência de elementos de prova que o inscreviam.
Para o advogado de defesa da Igreja Testemunhas de Jeová, Daúto Barbato, a justiça foi feita num caso que, segundo ele, nem devia ter chegado ao tribunal.
Desde o início do processo até então, a Constituição, como assim a lei penal, vinha sendo atropelada. Até então, a Constituição, como assim a lei penal, vinha sendo atropelada. Mas, finalmente, o juiz da causa acendeu-lhe a chama da justiça e foi possível provar, em sede da produção da prova, que não havia elementos para que este processo pudesse chegar até cá, nem deveria ter combinado com a pronúncia.
Entretanto, Ilofro da Conceição, advogado de defesa do denunciante Mauricio Fernando, está inconformado com a decisão do tribunal. Da Conceição diz que vai recorrer da sentença por haver aspectos que foram ignorados durante a sessão de produção de elementos de prova.
Logo no dia de julgamento, nós tínhamos pedido que a testemunha, que foi a única testemunha arrolada, era parte do grupo dos arguidos que por alguma o lapso não constou como arguido, mas estava no dia em que aconteceram os fatos e praticou os fatos, não pode aparecer como testemunha. E nós dissemos isso ao juiz no momento e ele indiferiu o nosso pedido. Nós ficamos um pouco estupefatos quando vemos que apenas só se cingiu a decisão numa única palavra, dizer que se não tiveres, não sais daqui. Esqueceu-se o fato do denunciante ter ficado 13 horas de tempo sem comer, sem beber, privado da sua liberdade a ser interrogado para dar informações, que era a informação que culminou com a expulsão dele.
Recorde-se que a Igreja Testemunhas de Jeová foi arrastada ao tribunal na sequência da expulsão de Mauricio Fernando por ter publicado em redes sociais conteúdos confidenciais da organização religiosa que iam contra os princípios da religião cristã.
Okay, so now I'm going to read the English translation that they put here on Reddit. So don't worry, everybody in the chat. So it says, the Masigna District Court acquitted the Church of Jehovah's Witnesses of the crimes of threat and illegitimate access that was accused by a former member of the congregation. The court has not found evidence of the crimes charged. The crimes of threat and illegitimate access that the Church of Jehovah's Witnesses was accused of was decided by Mauricio Fernando, a former translator of the religious organization. As a result, the judge of the case, Arsenio Naombe, decided to acquit the 3 senior members of the church who had been accused in the crime trial. On behalf of the Republic of Mozambique, the Masinga District Court has decided to acquit Jose Adriano Paulo, Orlando Semende Magasa, and Adilson Domingos for insufficiency of evidence. For the defense lawyer of the Church of Jehovah's Witnesses, Dauto Barbado, justice was done in a case that, according to him, should not have reached the court. Since the beginning of the trial until then, the commission, as well as the criminal law, had been run over. Since the beginning of the trial until then, okay. But finally, the judge of the case looked up to justice, and it was possible to prove that there were no elements of this trial to reach the court. I should not have agreed with the sentence. However, Hilufero, the Consiago, defense lawyer of the defendant Mauricio Fernando, is displeased with the decision of the court. The Consiago says that he will appeal the sentence for having aspects that were ignored during the production session of evidence. On the day of the trial, we had asked that the witness, who was the only witness, was part of the group of arguments, that by any chance the pencil was not considered an argument, but it was on the day that the facts happened and the facts were practiced. She cannot appear as a witness. And when said that to the judge at the time, he ignored our request. We were a little surprised when we saw that only the decision was made in a single word. To say that if you are not from here, you have forgotten the fact that the Consiago, having spent 13 hours without eating, without drinking, deprived of his freedom to be questioned, to give information, which was the information that culminated with his expulsion. It is remembered that the Church of Jehovah's Witnesses was dragged to court following the expulsion of Mauricio Fernando for having published on social networks confidential content of the religious organization that went against the principles of the Christian religion. And so that is the recap of his case. And so they were acquitted. But the good thing is that the news exposed them. The news, exposed Mauricio's case. And I mean, we will forever have this as just one more instance where they violated his human right. They disfellowshipped him. He lost his family. Now he's being shot. I mean, we already know what's going to happen, but I'm sad to see it. Yeah.
Now, I was going to ask, did the Jehovah's Witnesses, they were the defense in this case, right? Did they lie about what happened?
That's what I was gonna I'm thinking like now that I'm thinking about it, I'm like, if there was 3 of them, right? Wouldn't they all testify of what happened that day, how it happened? Yep. Like, would they not question them or cross-examine them or anything to, yeah.
Well, you see, right out the gate, you'll see we're not going to see everything in court. So what's happened, what I believe has happened is Jehovah's Witnesses lie, right? We know that they're filthy, rotten liars in court. Yep. They're the most filthy, rottenest liars in court. I say that to you, Stephen Lett, you filthy, rotten liar. They are. They're filthy, rotten liars. Look what happened to your wonderful Brumley, Stephen Lett. What happened to that filthy, rotten liar, right? Now, he was a filthy, rotten liar. He goes and says all this lies about Montana, that they have no jurisdiction there and all this bullshit. So they get caught lying. So Brumley gets caught lying. Now, who put Brumley up to the lies? It's Watchtower. Watchtower is the criminal here, folks. Watchtower is using and abusing, and they'll throw Brumley out to the vultures, just like they did Tony Morris. They threw him out. They'll give him a house, and they'll hide these guys, shut them up, silence them. They'll make them sign NDAs and all kinds of bullshit. But the Watchtower is evil. Just so everyone knows, they're evil people. They will lie in court. They're not. If you want to take Watchtower into court, they're going to come out and say, okay, where's your witnesses? None of this has happened. This guy is making this all up. Where's his witnesses? You see, they're going to throw the 2-witness rule again, right? See, that worked with hiding pedophilia crimes. CSA, it works there. Throw the 2-witness rule out, lie through your teeth. None of this happened. And it gets strung in court for years and years. Now, I don't know what could happen. What could happen here maybe someone from Bethel could come out and help with this. That could happen. I don't know if it's done yet. Can a court, Ruby, do you know if a case can be brought back up if it fails? You're gone. Ruby's gone. Well, I'm going to show you guys something what's going on in Denmark. And I'm just going to present my screen here. There's a situation that's coming up in Denmark, I think, is going to change how JW.org is treating people with their elders book. And they're using their elders book to judicially deal with people. So here's what's going on in Denmark. Can you hear that? We're going to take it right off watching Watchtower. Okay. So the ministry initiates a supervisory proceedings against Jehovah's Witnesses in Denmark. And what is this about? Well,
Ministry initiates supervisory proceedings against Jehovah's Witnesses. After articles in exJWs about a so-called Elder's Handbook, the minister is now demanding answers from Jehovah's Witnesses. The Ministry of Town, Country, and Churches has initiated an oversight case against Jehovah's Witnesses in Denmark following a series of articles in exJWs.
So whatever that is, we could look into that. So they're looking into, they might get into
Expert on Jehovah's Witnesses, they should not be a recognized religious community. A leading expert in church and religious law believes that internal court in Jehovah's Witnesses should lead to the removal of the movement's title as a recognized religious community.
Okay, so did you get that? So what happened to Mauricio was the, what they're calling here, the internal court. There it is. So Jehovah's Witnesses have an internal court system. I don't know if other religions have this, but this religion has an internal court system, and it's not handled according to how court jurisdiction and court system should be handled. Like if the Mormons had an internal court system, you could probably bring your own attorney in, right? Maybe, right? You should be able to bring your own representative in. You see, Mauricio could not bring in a representative because of their internal court system and how it's handled. Let's see what they say here.
The ministry informs Christlight Dagblad. The Ministry of Church Affairs initiates supervisory proceedings against Jehovah's Witnesses in matters of recognition as a religious community.
So that's what it's about, this internal court system that they have going on. And we ran an article on this a while ago, and I think it's going to come back to bite them. What's going, how they're getting away with this internal court system. It's not done legally. You see, there's certain legal standards to do a court system, whether you do it internally in your organization or not. So if you're going to run an internal court system where brothers, your members aren't allowed to go to the real courts, let's say there's disputes, civil matters, well, you're supposed to go to your brother first, try to solve it. If it doesn't work, you bring it before the elders, right? Well, that's not what the Bible says. The Bible says bring it before someone else. It doesn't say necessarily the elders. But right. I'm not going to get into that part of it today. But that's happening. It's coming, folks. So I think Mauricio, I don't know, that's that internal court system he's firing. 2 witnesses rule. And they lie. See, they'll lie if they go to court. So their lawyer's going to lie to the crown and say, yeah, no, this didn't happen. This guy's all full of crap. Okay. And then they're going to say, okay, show me his witnesses. And if you don't have witnesses, folks, don't go to court. So Mauricio, what does he learn here? What do we all learn here is get your witnesses lined up. 2 witness rule. Denmark is initiating proceedings as to their illegal court systems, illegal elder meetings. Okay, so the next one I had here is updates from Spain, and this is going to tie us into the what's going on here with the broadcast this month. Now, do you want to work into that, or did you have something else you wanted to talk about?
No, yeah, just to piggyback what you just said, is very important that we cannot trust these men the way we were brought up to trust them.
No.
They do not have your best interests at heart. Once you are sniffed out to be an apostate or an enemy in any way, they're not going to treat you like a regular brother or sister. You need to
Allowed to lie in court. It's called theocratic warfare. We've done so many articles in 1957 Awake or Watchtower about World War II, where some old lady lied through her teeth, and they made a big deal about it. And they said, "Yep, this Hitler didn't get her. We got the literature in, and blah blah blah. She lied through her teeth." But that's theocratic warfare. You are allowed to lie through your teeth if you're protecting Jehovah's name, which is really the Watchtower's name. It's nothing the hell to do with God at all. This is, you will lie through your teeth to protect the Watchtower's name. That's what it's all about. So guaranteed, if you're going to court against Watchtower people, you better have a lot of witnesses and some solid evidence, because they will lie through their teeth and waste all your time and money. They are nothing but dirty, rotten liars. So, and the members are too. The elders, the members, everyone that's lying for this rotten, deceiving criminal organization that covers up pedophiles from harming little children. This organization does not deserve charity status. And I'm glad Denmark is making a thing. That's what has to happen.
That's exactly what I've been discussing in all of these chats and groups and exJW groups, is that they need to be declassified because of the human rights violations. All of it. They violated Mauricio's rights, and he couldn't even prove it. If you can't prove it, it didn't happen. You need to keep the text messages, keep the voicemails, keep everything that is evidence, because we're living in a modern day where you can gather information and keep it. There was actually a new exJW YouTuber that has been making videos. His channel name is Becoming Justin. And I know that most of us, his views are, through the roof. So if you look him up, you'll know who he is. And so after that first video that Justin put about him coming out, he came out as homosexual. He came out as an apostate. He came out with not believing anything. And he's already so removed from that. It was shocking that his next video was the elders were harassing him. He hasn't gone to the meetings. He hasn't spoken to these people. They all have been shunning him. He's not even disfellowship, but they don't talk to him anymore, just like us. And they were harassing him. They were leaving text messages, voicemail. They kept calling more than once. That's harassment. He has all the receipts, and he plays it in his video, the voicemail that the brother leaves. And then he says that there are other elders who he's never even met before that are texting him and calling him to call me back because we need to discuss what has been happening on social media. Why you need to discuss what has been happening on his social media? That's his social media. He can post whatever he wants. We're in America, in the United States. So it's like they don't care where you are or where you live. They will violate your rights, and you cannot let that happen. And I'm glad Mauricio still went through the justice system, but he didn't have that evidence to prove the accusations that he was having. So that is a lesson for all of us. Yeah.
Now I wanted to say hi to a few people here. We have where is he? He's our neighbor. Here's a guy that lives next door to me, an hour away. Nash Osborne.
Hello.
He doesn't speak English. So Nash made a comment here. What did he say? He said, listening to the grounding. Nash says, he's appealed it. And yes, he did. Brumley has appealed the appeal. You see, he has nothing left in his life. His whole life is upside down. He has no choice but to appeal it. The Watchtower's throwing him out to the dogs. You haven't seen his name come up lately. They're deleting him slowly. They'll delete him. Maybe Brumley was so high on his own self that this was his whole game. No, you don't need to.
Yes.
Thank you. Yes.
He's the fall guy. That's who
Yeah.
Philip Brumley is. He's gonna lie and put his own career on the line for Watchtower. He's never gonna blame Watchtower or say that
You
this
don't
is what
think
they
so?
told me what to do. Nah, I don't think so. He's gonna be the
They'll take
fall
care
guy.
of him.
My
They'll give
fault.
him a house. They'll feed him. This guy'll never have
Yep.
to work in his life.
Yep.
He'll whatever, they'll all go put their FaceTime in at the nearest Kingdom Hall or whatever they do. It's a job behind the scenes. So I have some more stuff here. This is came out in Spanish. The Truth About Jehovah's Witness, this Wednesday, September 25th.
Mm-hmm.
Do you want to know the truth about Jehovah's Witnesses? Everyone?
Yes.
Well, here it is, the truth
Give me
about
the truth.
Jehovah's Witnesses. I'm going to turn it on here. Let's see what it says.
The Truth of Jehovah's Witnesses.
Ofreciéndonos la promesa de una vida feliz. Son los testigos de Jehová. En Australia, una sentencia descubre los abusos sexuales a más de 1000 menores durante 60 años. Pero, ¿qué pasa en España? La verdad de los testigos de Jehová.
El miércoles a las 12:15 de la noche.
Aquí.
Could you imagine you're
What
Jehovah's
is the
Witness
situation of Jehovah's Witnesses in Spain?
in Spain?
In Australia, a court ruling reveals sexual abuse of more than 1,000 minors over 60 years.
Yeah.
In the new
Just in one
episode of The
country.
Truth About, the program explores the situation of Jehovah's Witnesses. Their followers knock on our doors, offering us the promise of a happy life. In Australia, a court ruling reveals the sexual abuse of more than 1,000 minors over 60 years. But what is happening in Spain? The Truth About Jehovah's Witnesses, this Wednesday at 12:15 on Telecinco.
There's more.
The following is an example of what can happen when groups join together. Rather than being a quiet stream trickling away on their own,
Watching Watchtowers
they
get more
joined with other
creative.
streams to become a mighty roaring waterfall.
Yeah, we don't know who Watching Watchtower is. They're
The
just
people in Spain
out there
are doing
all
great
this.
work. Like the groups in New Zealand and Japan, and all that they have achieved, and will continue to achieve, for everyone, including survivors of Jehovah's Witnesses.
Is it over? There's more stuff.
La asociación reúne e insta al Congreso.
Policia.es.
Here's one.
This urges people to be presented to coercive persuasion of
La persuasión coercitiva de las sectas en el Código Penal.
We got lots of
Red UNE Association urges Congress to include coercive persuasion of sex in the Penal Code. 300,000.
Okay, so this is interesting, folks. Coercive persuasion. When you go to that meeting where they hand out all the blood cards, do they hand them out still? All those blood cards? That power of
I
attorney
think so.
card?
Mhm.
Is that not coercive persuasion?
Yes.
You see, this, we're going to get into another one here where, let's leave it. Let's just keep going. But that's good. You see, they're being called out. Now we have 300,000 signatures. That's
Mhm.
interesting. Where the heck is this at?
And signatures will be presented to Congress to provide a solution for victims of sex who want to report. The National Police urges people to report criminal activities by groups or leaders to Sectas Destructivas at Policia.es. The National Police in an operation against a sect in Operation Killa. The Network for the Prevention of Sectarianism and Abuse of Weakness, Red UNE, will deliver this Thursday, September 26th, nearly 300,000 signatures to ask parliamentary groups to launch a bill to include the definition of coercive persuasion in an article of the Penal Code. The aim is to give judges a tool that they have not had until now to be able to sentence when a victim reports psychological manipulation by a group, a leader, or any person. According to the president of...
So it looks like there's actually a law on this. The aim is to give judges a tool that they have not had until now to be able to sentence when a victim reports psychological manipulation by a group, a leader, or any person. Isn't this interesting? What's coming out now in the courts?
Oh,
Because
yes.
once it comes out in one court, this spreads all over the world. Judges watch judges all over the world. They're all working according to the Jehovah's Witnesses are throwing the human rights crap at us. Well, all these judges work according to that, and they watch each other. So let's see what happens.
According to the president of Red UNE, Juancho Dominguez, who
Yes.
spoke to RTV.es, if coercive persuasion were included, it would be a protection for all victims of the crime of violence, that is, from gender violence to human trafficking, including abusive dynamics of pseudotherapeutic groups, pyramidal groups, and different varieties of coercive groups.
Yep.
Spain needs legal regulation that criminalizes in an aggravated manner the promotion, constitution, organization, and the coordination or direction of a coercive organization. Dominguez explained that in countries such as France, Belgium, Luxembourg, and the United Kingdom, coercive persuasion and abuse of weakness in any type of social relationship are already included in their legislation. She also stressed that Spain needs legal regulation that criminalizes in an aggravated manner the promotion, constitution, organization, and coordination or direction of a coercive organization. They have the support of other associations and groups such as the Association of Victims of Jehovah's Witnesses, Psychologists Without Borders, and the family of Patricia Aguilar, a Spanish woman recruited by a sect in Peru, the case for which the collection of signatures began.
Okay, so this is good about what's going on in Spain. Spain seems to be spearheading some of this stuff. And they talk about the Victims Association. I know there's a channel member that is interested in getting a Victims Association going here in North America. And I think that all these things have to take place to get the attention of the government. So I was on Rick Fearon's channel, and it sounds like they're working on this. So that's great news to see that happening. So if we can, and once that comes out, we want to again get the 300,000 signatures here in North America, right? If Spain can get 300,000 signatures, I'm sure if we can get this out, there's signatures, and we can advertise it as creators, and that's what we do. So I think that's at the end of that one. So what do you think of all that?
Oh yeah, that's exactly what this exJW Slavica was emailing in this chain, and that's exactly what I was telling her. I said, until that happens, and like those other countries that was mentioned, we can try to do that in America. The only thing is that First Amendment. We really have to be careful with the freedom of religion. And if they are not considered a religion, then we can move forward. So we have to start. If you want to do signatures, if you want to do tracts or pamphlets, you have to start educating the public first about the abuses, because not that many people know about what is going on in Warwick, New York. If they knew the type of stuff that was happening behind closed doors, you would get those signatures overnight, because we are not for that. Nobody's for that. It doesn't matter what country you're from. Nobody is for the violation of our rights. Once you get those signatures, then you need to start talking to your representatives. And that is kind of hard. You know, like you said earlier, not everybody is going to want to do this. Not everybody is ready to do what we do. Not everybody is strong enough to do what we do. So they're not going to put their face out there, or their name, or their signature, or talk to the representatives. They're not going to do that. They just want to move on with their lives because we're so broken from that trauma, like you said earlier. So I get that. I understand that. But for whoever is ready for that fight, get ready. We need that vast apostate army again, where we can go to our city, our capitals, in our states. It needs to start local. And then you can start doing the Washington, D.C. stuff. The Be Free protest, I think it's great, but you have to start at home first in our states. And that there's a lot of power in that. When you talk to your attorney general, when you talk to your governor, I don't think that much is going to get done in DC. They're not going to listen to you like
No.
that. You need to talk to
No.
your representative that represents you as a constituent in your state. And that representative goes to Congress and starts pushing the thing that you want to push. So I suggested that we start writing legislation. We need to write a bill. We need to write our goals of what this movement is about. We need a name. We need to become an organization to fight an organization. That's what Dan said in that Zoom meeting. So if anybody wanted to watch that, I put it on my community tabs, and then I put it also on Discord. But when he said that, I was like, exactly. We need to be so united and in such great numbers, and then you push forward. You start going to the corner of you put the banners up. You start, with a loudspeaker in the public square talking about the abuses and the offenses that they do to us. And it's not just an internet thing, this is not what's gonna get us where we need to go. Quite frankly, this is just for the community. We're not getting paid. We're not like doing this for any type of like monetary, value. This is just for you guys, for us. You know what I'm saying? So you have to come, with that mentality. And like you said before, you got to be strong for that, for the comments, for the views, for the backlash, for the uncomfortable subjects, even for confrontations, because not everybody is going to be on board with us. Not everybody. So you do have to be strong enough to, to put yourself out there. And it does take time. It does take money. This is not overnight. This is a long game. You got to play the long game, especially in America. The justice system is slow here. So you have to start with your neighbors. You have to start with street unwitnessing. It's like you have to start educating in the opposite way that we were trying to recruit. Now you have to try to wake people up, and the normies. You got to wake up the normies in your city. You have to start getting allies. We have to start doing this. And so, like I said in that email to Slavica, I am ready to advocate for that. I support that. I want to be there. But at my stage in life right now, unfortunately, I can't do much. I don't have any money. I can't, I'm homeschooling my kids. It's like I'm trying to live life at the same time, try to build that life and maintain it, because we never had it. So it's hard to do both. So we just have to meet in the middle where everybody can do that in their own state, and just direct yourself and do that. And then have that huge group from every state go to DC next year, every year, go to DC. But you have to start little chapters, and then all of those chapters can storm DC at the protest.
Yeah. So what we threw out here in Canada, I think that's good. I think I'm agreeing with you.
Yeah.
We tried up here. Let's go to their assembly halls. Let's advertise that we have a community. I think people are leaving in, like, what's happening is people are waking up in the org, but they're not telling anybody. But multiple people are waking up at the same time, but they're not other. So we're hoping to break that ice. We're standing there with a sign, ExJW Friends, gives them something to talk about. They get chatting about ExJW Friends. They come on to ExJW Friends. And here you'll have, and we've seen this from the same congregation, one person comes on and reveal themselves, and another person comes on and says, I didn't know you were awake too. We just heard this story from one of the members. I forget who it was, San Diego or someone. But we hear this happening. They don't know that there's multiple people awake at the same time. So let's advertise ExJW Friends. We can go to the nearest convention. We're used to driving to it. It's a half hour away. Those assembly halls, most people drive to them. So once a year, doing their convention, they're doing all their conventions at these little assembly halls up in Canada now. No more big renting coliseums. So then we have multiple times to get there, ExJW Friends, maybe go a Sunday, even we don't have to take a lot of time. It's a light protest. It's a friendly protest. So for all of those out there that are afraid of protesting, this is a light protest. This is helping your family, your friends to find a channel, a path to find the Field of Dreams. The Field of Dreams is the exJW island, the community that we're building. And this
Exactly.
is the
Thank you for
dreams.
bringing that up, because
This,
I was just about to tell you how your space and your channel is kind of like that net that catches them when they fall, when they wake up
yeah,
and they feel like they're falling. That is where everybody can come to Vern's channel and see Joe and Fran, and then see
yeah,
you and everything that you do. Like, I saw one of the comments before, he said Vern doesn't even know how many souls he's saving. It was like super early in the stream, and I was
yeah,
like, that's so true, because when you're spiraling and you're looking on the internet and you come and you find somebody like Vern, when you find all of us on YouTube, that's the net that they can fall on, and then they can build up
yeah.
that courage, and then do what we do, is like become a part of this movement. So we appreciate your channel. I could speak for
Well,
everybody
thank
in the
you.
chat, and I can say
Well,
we
thank you,
appreciate.
everyone, for that. Because today I
Yeah.
felt like quitting. I felt like quitting today, honestly. My computer melted down. My all my work. I just felt
Mhm.
like quitting. I
Yep.
even told
I
Ruby
almost
how
did
I.
too. I
You
almost
know,
did.
it's just we're human beings. You know, people come at us. They expect that just because we're online, we can do all of this stuff. We can start the Victims Association. We can hire lawyers. Well, shit, I can't even pay my internet bill, and I don't even have a fucking place to live right now. And I'm sorry for swearing, but I have had a lot of anxiety lately, and I am going to take a break. But
Yes.
I got to go find a job. I don't have any money coming in. You know, we can't. I've been doing this full time, and I think I'm going to take a break for a while. Like, I'll come on to the lives Friday with you, do the news. I'll host Joe and Fran. Well, anybody can host that. You know, we set up the platform. We could disappear and no one would know it. You know, that's just how easy it is. Other people can come on. They're younger. Maybe they have different circumstances. They can come on, and we can keep the platform going. But I don't have time to make a bunch of videos. I got to figure out how to feed myself, how to put a roof over my head.
Exactly. And that
You
happens
know,
to a lot. There's been lots of
yeah,
exJW YouTubers that they just disappear from the internet, and then you
yeah,
kind of feel like, dang, I wish this person was still around. You know what I'm saying? But
yeah,
I understand your perspective, because we all need breaks. And that's why I tell you, it's a lot of energy when you do the JW stuff, and it kind of
yeah,
tears us down a little bit. So you got to take a break. You got to take a break. I
yeah. We
totally
do.
get you. Yeah.
Okay, we're going to run this little bit here. I don't
Firmas en el
know.
Congreso
It's
pidiendo que se
a little bit
tipifique
here.
como delito el lavado de cerebro.
Okay, we just
300,000
ran that,
signatures
eh?
submitted to
There's this,
Congress
no, this is
calling
another
for
one.
brainwashing to be criminalized.
It's another video on this, so we're going to see what they do here. There's a lot going on in Spain.
La persuasión coercitiva, pues es lo que todo el mundo conoce como la manipulación psicológica de tipo sectario, el comerte el tarro, el lavado de cerebro, la coerción, vaya, el obligar a una persona de una manera sutil, o sea, no de manera directa coaccionándolo, sino coercionándolo, haciendo que eso parezca que es una decisión propia suya. Con lo cual, ante un juzgado parece que esa persona ha tomado decisiones libres, cuando en realidad ha sido presionado para tomarlas y nunca hubiera tomado esas decisiones sin la intervención de esa tercera persona, ese grupo o ese entorno sectario.
Interesting, they're videotaping all of this. They're coming into the secretary's office or whatever, the state. I don't know. No, they're bringing all these pamphlets in to the government's office.
Yep. That's what I want to do.
There you go. Look at that. So there's the goal for us here in Canada, US. Can we get to this point? It takes a special type of person to do
Asociación
this.
Española de Víctimas de
What
los
else is going
Testigos
on
de
here?
Jehová.
Of deputies calling for a bill against coercive persuasion.
They're just talking
The
about it again.
AEVTJ was present with Ricky of the Association of Victims of the Santerias, and along, etc. We have been received by some members of the Socialist Party and the People's Party, with whom a meeting will be convened to explain why we are asking for this law. Judicial mechanisms have to be put in place so that gurus or coercive groups cannot condition or abuse people's lives.
That's a nice, there's a lot of support there in the group, and they're gaining support. And it's not necessarily all ex-Jehovah's Witnesses. If you get 300,000 signatures, you're going to everyone in the country, all kinds of different groups to get support. So that's what we have to think about. I know I kind of put my petition out to exJWs, but there's a lot of work to getting a petition out there, advertising it, getting it out to the right people, right groups. I don't know. I guess you have to know about all these groups. Go to the government, find out who the victims are. I started searching victims associations, and if you're a victim in Canada here, there's all kinds of government institutions to help you, and it's all paid for victims. If you're a real victim.
Right.
So by all means, go. Now I'm going to just get off the screen and take just a 10-minute break. Do you have any news you want to share with anybody?
Yeah, I can do I'll address the comments because there's a lot that.
Yeah. Okay, great.
That I can.
We'll see you guys in a bit.
Okay. So really quickly, I do want to bring up, here is Slavica that I mentioned earlier, especially with this Spain stuff. So she says, Ruby, invite everyone to our Zoom tomorrow at 2 p.m. Pacific time. Thank you for reminding me. So I think I do have that link in an email. I will post it to the Discord on my tab. So if anybody is on the Discord, go to my tab and I'll put that there after this stream. That was exactly the same Zoom meeting that we did previous, that Slavica recorded, and I also shared that. It was on Rumble, and I think a couple of people did watch that. So that was pretty good. That is the time where we are brainstorming and we're talking about exactly what Spain is doing. We want to replicate it, in the United States of America. One other comment that she put here, she said, right, you are. Have you contacted Governor DeSantis? I have not. The hurricane is over. So I'm going to start looking into that. But you know what? To be honest, I'm also really careful with this election season. I think I'm going to wait until this election is over so that we can see who's going to be the president and then how to move forward. Because I think that's super important in my opinion. I am going to reach out to Ivy, and she was the organizer for the Be Free protest, and she's also in Tampa. So I have to reach out to her, and she is on Facebook. And she just did a recap live with exJW MJ on his channel with exJW Diaries. So if you haven't seen that, go check that one out. That was amazing. But yeah, I think I'm going to wait until after this election season. And then with the new year, I'm going to make it my resolution to talk to my representative. And so in my district, I already know who she is. I have her information, and I'm going to start asking questions. But like I said before, we need to start printing tracts or something. We need to start going to the streets and doing that street activism. And since we have YouTube channels, I was thinking of getting a tripod stand and recording us, or just myself, whoever is willing to go out in the street and make videos like that. Like how Vern was doing the whole Canadian tour. That was amazing. So I might do that. Okay, let me see what our other comments. JG, hello. He says, it's so sad that the JWs are falling on the sword with the issue of CSA. The rank and file would be shocked. And the public would be shocked as well. They don't even know what's going on because everybody is so polarized by the politics right now in America. I think that's why I'm also waiting until after the election to see what's going to happen. But that's what's on everybody's mind right now. They're not going to be thinking about what the Jehovah's Witnesses are doing. You know what I'm saying? So we have to find our pocket, to bring it up to people's attention, especially Christians. I saw one of the comments on my community tab that said it would be so awesome if there was exJWs and also Christians who were fighting back against this sect, against this cult, because real Christians should be defending their faith against cults like this. And I was like, totally agree. We should be saying that this is what they got wrong. And on top of that, violating human rights. That's a perfect way to go. And so since I do consider myself Christian conservative, I can reach out to other Christian conservatives. I can reach out to other Christians, no matter what denomination, and say, would you come to this protest with me? Would you, you have to create allies in different communities. So I think that's a great idea. San Diego says, Scott Peters is my representative. Do you see how awesome that is? That's awesome. Okay, I'm getting a phone call, so I'll be right back. Okay. Sorry about that. All right, let me see the comments. Okay, I am back, Nash. Sorry about that. My dad was calling me that my kids were texting him on their tablet and bombarding him with messages, so I had to take the tablet. Oh my goodness. Hi, Matthew. Matthew says, that's a great idea. Reach out to other communities. That would be good for the non-woke exJWs. We need other help to fight against JWs and the corruption. I mean, that's a good angle, right? Because one of the main problems with that cult is because they're not real Christian. So if we can get a whole Christian movement and say the Jehovah's Witnesses are wrong, the Mormons are wrong, like any other cult, it doesn't matter what it is. We need to start aligning ourselves with them. And that's what I think in Slavika's Zoom meeting, I think that was also mentioned, or maybe somebody mentioned it to me, I don't know, but they were saying like the Mormons are mobilizing, they're getting together, they're getting organized, and we just need to do the exact same thing. And then once we have enough people in the United States, we can even join forces with the ex-Mormons, and we can have our own, literature and say the Jehovah's Witnesses, are dangerous and things like that. So that's even a good idea. Let me see who else. The world is a stage. Hey, she said, agreed. A lot of JWs are gone far lefty. Yeah, but you know what? It really doesn't matter at this point, left or right. It doesn't matter. That's what everybody needs to remember, is that we are all trying to target Watchtower and Bethel. And I do remember when the vast apostate army was doing those protests in Warwick, and they were documenting it. The news was there. They had that momentum. We need to recreate that, like every year if we can. You know what I'm saying? Like we need to get to the point where we can start creating annual pop-up protests in your state, and then continue the DC one every year. But that takes a lot of work and a lot of energy and a lot of cooperation with everybody in the exJW community, regardless of whether we like each other or not. We need to start getting together, which is all of us, all YouTubers, everybody, and we need to start protesting. I'm gonna scroll up to see any comments that I've missed. Okay, Association of Ex-Jehovah's Witnesses. She says, we are interviewing Carlos Bardivio on 6 screens. Is that this Saturday? Awesome. I am going to check that. exJWs and Christians. Yes, we do. Matthew says, would you ever confront Jehovah's Witnesses in public? Yes, I would. Especially when I saw one of their carts in downtown Tampa in front of a park, a children's park. and we brought our children to that park. And once I saw them, I almost left because I was like, how dare you have this here when they don't know about it, but we know that the organization deals with CSA issues and they're right in front of a park. So that's what gets me. Every single time you see a cart, that should be another opportunity that you should take to protest right in front of them. And I would go so far as to say you need to leave, okay? Because we need to start protecting our communities. We need to start protecting our children, and it starts with us. So I would confront Jehovah's Witnesses. And when I do get that banner that I wanted to order, I am going to start going to every memorial whenever they have it, the special conventions when they have it in Tampa, because they have those arenas in downtown Tampa. It's same thing for any other state. And I would start protesting in front of when they get there, noon, and when they get out of there. You know what I'm saying? Like, yes, we need to start doing that. Okay, let's see. Okay, yes, Saturday. Either next Saturday at 8 p.m. Eastern time. Perfect. That's awesome. I'm going to tune in. G says great program. Thank you, Jay. Association of exJWs is on Rumble, right? Yeah, I shared that on my community tab and also on Discord. So if anybody needs to get that, I think we do post it regularly. So I'll see if I could get that link again. Trudy says they sold my local Kingdom Hall years ago, but there is still one located a half-hour drive. Thinking of leaving literature at their door. Yes. Was it Joe and Fran who had like those pamphlets or something? I think it was them. Or like stickers or something. I don't know what it was, but once I saw it, I was like, that's exactly what we need to do. And we need to start doing informal unwitnessing. Every time I go do laundry on my local laundromat, and like the 24-hour ones, there's always a bulletin board. And every single week I go to do laundry, I see a JW track and I run over there and I snatch it off the board and I crumble it up and I throw it away. And I'm this close to going to the attendant and I'm going to ask her, can anybody just post whatever they want, or do they need permission to post there? Because it's very triggering. I come to do my laundry and I see JW literature. Hey, Vern. Vern is back.
Hi. What was I going to say? They now I'm looking at you.
Yes.
We did the carts when we were on holidays. We approached the carts.
Yeah.
Now I just did the elders book on field ministry, and we covered the carts in the field ministry. So according to the elders book, they're not allowed to have a Bible sitting on the cart. That's a no-no. And there's in under field ministry in the elders book, not once does it say to use your Bible. It says all the way through, and I thought this just blew me away as a pioneer, ex-pioneer. You know, back in the old days, it was all about the Bible, reading a scripture, getting to the door and reading the scripture right away from the Bible. You know,
Yep.
Open your Bible, the power of God's holy word. It has so much power. Open that book, read the scripture, let the power speak for itself. No longer is that a JW org practice. No longer.
Yeah.
They changed their religion overnight. And for all these old elders that are in it, shame on you. Shame on you guys. Anybody that's involved in these carts, and I'm speaking from an experienced minister, pioneer, person that went out and helped people with the Bible. You guys are a fraud. The whole elders book is about promoting JW.org, handing out your business card, JW.org, videos, get them into the video. If you can have a tablet, get a tablet. The very first thing you do is press the video. Come on, guys, this is all BS. This is not Bible educational work. This is Watchtower educational work. This is cult educational work. This religion kills people. I say that right off the bat. This religion is responsible for coercive killing of people through their blood doctrine, blood card. I administer that. I almost killed my son. Almost. He almost died, but he didn't when he was an infant, due to this effing Watchtower. So you wonder why we're online? That's why we have no use for this effing Watchtower. I'm sorry about my language today, but today is not a good day for me, you know, when your computer melts. Anyways, free Bible courses. You go on their site. This is all they're pushing lately, folks. If you're out there, if you want to help people in the world, this is what they want. Try our Bible course. They want your name. They want a seat. They want to monopolize off your name because it gives them a seat to their religion. We have so many Bible studies. We have all these Bible studies. They want your full physical address. Here's what they want. If you press next, you can't go next because you have to have your first name, last name. They want to know your gender. It's required. So if you have an alternate gender, I don't know how you're going to say that. There's only male or female there. That's all you can choose.
Yeah.
They want your full. They want your full physical address. They want to call on you. You're giving them permission here, guys. This is a permission slip to harass you. They want your email address. They'll harass you. And then they want you to sign the terms of use. I read it. It's BS. Don't sign it. But this is what this campaign's about. It's about getting your name and your address. That's all it is. They do not pull the Bible out. You see, guys, here? This guy's pulling the Bible out. That's BS. They pull brochures out. It said that in field ministry, you use brochures. You do not have books on your stand, just a few, but you do not give them out. You just hand out the pamphlet, the little brochure, you know, it's just a little brochure. So what's new? We look at that. Unfortunately, we look at that to see what's new with this org. Well, they dropped, end of the month, they dropped an update 6. What was this all about? It's like a newscast is what this was about. They don't tell you what it's about. So everyone's going to they're going to get a hit, right? Because everyone's going to watch.
Brothers and sisters.
So we're going to speed through this.
Since our last report, we've had 7 more special conventions. They were held in Philadelphia, United States.
So they brag about all these conventions.
7,000. Clearly, Jehovah has truly blessed these special.
So Jehovah's blessed them all. There's all these special conventions.
Thus, this Jehovah.
They got all these Bible studies. Look at his beard, guys. Take a look at him. Do you think it improved his looks? My wife says he looks slovenly. I don't know. And heavier. She said, look at the button on his coat. Not that we're about picking at Pete. I gain weight too, but I'll tell you what. In Bethel, flying around first class, eating in Bethel, like it's a 5-star resort, Bethel. He doesn't even have to do his laundry. He has nothing to worry about, this guy. His shirt, his tie and shirt's done for him, hanging in the closet. It's governing body. Special treatment.
Annalore is an 84-year-old pioneer sister in Austria. Because of her health, she can't preach from door to door for long periods of time. However, she decided to offer a Bible course to people who had responded positively to her visits before. She thought of 6 people and visited them. She was very happy to demonstrate the Bible course with all 6 people. The result? All 6 agreed to continue the course in the coming days. In the Philippines, while witnessing from house to house, 2 publishers approached a woman named Josie who was doing laundry in front of her apartment.
Okay, we won't play a lot of these, but here's what is happening. I don't know if you have anything to say, but in the Philippines, well, 50% of the Philippines have internet, 50% don't. Okay, so when we went up north in the Arctic where no one's ever called before, these unassigned territories, everyone accepted a Bible study. Man, if we would have had the video thing, that would have been easy. If internet was going and we had that video and I had a tablet, I would have got them all going on video. But as it was, I placed Bibles and books and I tried to do it remotely over the phone. And we tried to get help. They even announced at a district assembly that we had so many studies. We had like 150 studies that we couldn't handle them all. So they went out to the whole district and we had calls and we handed out studies. They all fizzled out. I think the new JW tactic to get them into the computer, the online study, half the people are not literate up north that I was dealing with. And if you get into the third world country, the Philippines, and 50% of the population does not have internet, Shit, when you go to the Kingdom Hall, that's 5-star, air conditioning, internet, tablets.
Right,
That's cutting
right.
edge. You see how they're doing it? And of course, everyone's going to accept a Bible study. We went up north. Everyone said yes. Everyone said yes. You know, most people, right? It was so easy to do Bible studies. So I'm telling the audience, this is not a hard thing to do. Most of these Bible studies fizzle out. We never baptize one person. Go ahead.
Because internet isn't widely available, they can't Google the org.
Yeah, they can't Google the org. They can't find out that their child, they protect pedophiles.
Yeah.
Since Josie was busy, she told the publishers to
So
talk
that's all they're
instead to
going
her
to pitch
adult
this. So
son.
they're going to pitch
to
the story.
accepted the offer to have a
They had
continue
Bible
to offer
studies.
Bible study
He's all
to be
excited.
home. The Bible.
They did this when we did the North
Man
stuff. They
replied,
got on the
"The
stage.
witnessing
They're all
informed
excited.
all items."
Here's the bullshit part of it. I went up north, did all this work. Not that I'm anything special, right? So I had air miles, right? And I had one guy up at Joe Haven. He said he'd come down to the assembly. So I flew him down in air miles. Didn't really cost me much. Went to the airport, picked him up. We put him up at our house. I asked the other elder, do you want to put him up? They said, no, it's worldly. His wife would not put him up. He was worldly. I said, too bad I didn't use this word. I should have said, fuck Morgan. What the fuck's wrong with you and your religion? Like, that's what I should have said. You guys are fucked. You guys are whacked. You guys are whacked. I went up north and spent thousands of dollars and bring this one guy down and you can't put him up? You are a whacked religion because he's worldly. He did smoke pot. Like, he'd go outside and smoke pot, right? So what? He came down for the damn assembly. My ex-wife wanted nothing to do with him. I was the only guy. I'd take him. This was a mess, guys. I don't recommend anybody doing any extra work for this organization because they shit on you. Now, we're going to listen to a little bit more of this, but it's BS.
And she decided to offer her a study using the direct approach. They watched the video, "Welcome to your Bible study," and the woman was delighted.
You see, that's how they're doing it, through the video. So he goes on, they're promoting the video. About this is all the video. This is their special campaign. Then we're going to get into the Spain.
Our time and energy seeking out those who are rightly disposed for everlasting life. So, brothers and sisters, let's continue to offer in Madagascar with over 21,000 in attendance.
Country, right? Is it
419? Were
not
baptized.
as well? Probably not
Also,
as many
the
people have
Philippines
internet.
Publishers, his words at John 4, verse 30. Yes, expand our share in the preaching and teaching work. Clearly, we each have different circumstances. If you're already pioneering, could you serve for a special individual circumstances? The book Organized to Do Jehovah. Keep the momentum of our special many parts of the world. May we all continue to you, dear brothers and sisters.
Okay, so right at the beginning, they
these
talked about
conventions.
the what's going on in Spain.
Santo Domingo, Dominican, in Paraguay, they're seen clearly there's much potential for growth. Jehovah has truly blessed these special. Here's a brief legal update.
There.
On September.
So here's the legal update. Here's how Jehovah's Witnesses do news. This is the only news they get. On this channel, last week, we ran this news. We said Jehovah's Witnesses won the court case. Good news or bad news for us. We deliver the news. And but here they are, just delivering one little tidbit of the news. What about all the other news that's out there? Well, let's
November
listen how they
17th, 2024, the 17 judges of the Grand Chamber of the European Court of Human Rights ruled in favor of Sister Pindo Mudia, who was given blood transfusions in Spain against her wishes. Despite our sister's clear oral and written refusal, transfusions in Spain.
Okay, just let's, for the record, everyone out there, this sister would probably be dead. This sister wouldn't be here with her husband smiling. She'd be dead had she followed the governing body's order.
Like she needed blood.
Right? She needed blood. That's why they gave it to her. They kept her living. So I want everyone out there that's Jehovah's Witness, everyone out that's ex-Jehovah's Witness and still believes in that BS, to look at this lady. She would be dead had she followed the directive. But now they're using this dead person to propagate their coercive filthy, rotten blood doctrine that they push onto the people. Let's see how they do it.
Against her wishes. Despite our sister's clear oral and written refusal, a judge in Spain allowed doctors to proceed. The Grand Chamber concluded that this violated her rights. It confirmed that patients have the fundamental right to choose their own medical care.
And folks, this is what we have to fight. This is the human rights part of it. He nailed it. We have the right to choose, damn it, JW.org. If I'm going in JW.org for an operation and I need blood and my doctor gives it, it's none of your damn business. I have the right to choose according to human rights. But no, I just did the Elders book on this. If you take blood, they will sit down with you and they will treat you like you are weak. You have lost your marbles. You lost it. You were forced. And you say, no, the doctors didn't force me into this. You guys are reading the damn scriptures wrong. Jesus is about life, not about death. You guys are about death, not about life. You guys got it backwards, completely backwards. It's a conscientious matter. I took it. So what they'll do is they'll strip you of all your privileges in the congregation. First thing, you are now disciplined. You are under the reproof and the discipline. So you're getting disciplined for your human rights. It's bullshit. So then what happens? I say to my neighbor sitting there, I didn't sign that blood card. Or blood card time comes around, right? They pass it on. I'm at the meeting. I said, I'm not signing the blood card. I say it verbally. I'm not signing this damn blood card, and neither are my kids. Okay? That's it. This is garbage. And if I said that vocally, I am shunned. I am now disfellowshipped. I am shunned. I'm kicked out because it's right in the Elders book, because I'm spiritually weak, and no, I deliberately went against their doctrine, the faithful slave. So I become an opposer to the faithful slave. I'm an apostate. They have now classified me as an apostate because I spoke my mind in their religious setting where they're trying to shove that shit down my throat and my family's throat. And they did for 30 years. And I will be so verbal about this, man. This is the biggest farce, piece of baloney that this organization wants to shovel out against human rights. Well, they are violating our human rights because we know we don't have a choice in that religion.
Right. Remember we said they should have the choice.
And he said everyone should have the choice. You want me to replay it?
But they don't let
Medical care. What makes this decision especially significant is that it was issued by the Grand Chamber of the European Court of Human Rights. The Grand Chamber issues decisions only when a case is considered to be groundbreaking. Thus, this decision obligates 46 countries in Europe to respect patients' healthcare choices. We're grateful to the Grand Chamber for this.
So, to respect patients' healthcare wishes, I agree with that. To respect Watchtower's healthcare wishes upon me as a member, and if I decide I want to take a blood transfusion, I get shunned and disfellowshipped if I'm verbal about it. Bullshit. This is against my human rights. And we have to fight it. All you 56.4 people out there online, we have to fight this. This is how they're propagating it. This is our fight. Let's
Vern,
hear the rest.
I got something for you.
Go ahead.
Ready?
Yeah.
Well played, Ruby.
Well played.
That was amazing. That was amazing. I love it.
But
Vern, just so you know, people agree with you.
we got to fight this.
They agree with you.
So let's listen to the rest of this bozo.
Above all, we thank Jehovah
Bullshit.
for this legal victory.
So you're thanking
which will
God
benefit
for
all
dying.
of our brothers.
You're thanking God for dying. I'm done with this. Anyways, that's the broadcast this month. It's we touched on the news. We brought it out. The news about Spain last week. But you know, that's all they bring out. One little win they have. They have this win. It's a big win, I guess, if you want to kill people. This is a big win for Jehovah's Witnesses. So they can kill people. The Elders book shows it. It's a killing machine. And I don't care. I'm going to stand up for this. I'll talk to any government official about how it is. I was in it for 30 years and I almost killed my kid. So I know. Okay, well, that's all I have for you today.
Awesome,
It's
Vern. That was amazing. That I love that redirected anger towards the
yeah.
organization. That's exactly what we have to start doing. I starred this comment. I want to bring it up. She says, Ruby, please mention my comment about my wanting to help Vern with money and inviting others to do the same. So, yes, I want to encourage everyone, the 56 people watching right now, become a member of Vern's channel, not my channel. I'm going to turn it off because I don't really care about that. Go to Vern's channel and become a member. Vern has 7K subscribers. And if at least everybody becomes a member for just $1, he should be getting at least 7K a month, guys. Come on. Vern has been amazing, has been doing an amazing job. He invited me, of all people, to get on his channel. And I would have never thought in a million years that Vern and Shauna said, we want you on our channel. We choose you. I was like, really? Vern and Shauna are amazing people on YouTube. And I know that Vern needs a break, but we need to support this channel. So if you are watching on Vern's channel, hit the super. Don't hit my super, because I know we're streaming like simultaneously. I don't care about none of that. I'm a stay-at-home mom with 3 kids. I'm okay here. But Vern really needs our support. So become a member. Go to his bio, and there should be like a PayPal. If you would like to donate like that, please do so. It helps the StreamYard because all of us are using it. I'm going to be giving a donation as well. And it helps his channel. So thank you so much to Vern and Shauna and for that comment that Slavika posted. So Slavika, please go to Vern's channel, and in the bio, it has the PayPal that you can donate if you would like to help with this activism, with this channel. Thanks, guys.
Thank you for that, Ruby. I appreciate that. I didn't ask for that, but I don't usually, I feel uncomfortable asking people for money. It's just something that I figure, I guess I still believe in God. And I think if God
That's why
wants this,
I
he'll
did it.
support
That's
it.
why I did it, because I already know that people are like that. And I don't care about my channel in that way. I'm not like, I'm gonna turn off my supers and stuff like that because I don't really care about that. I'm actually here, like I told you, for the long game. Because I got that anger just like you, but it's buried. You know what I'm saying? It sometimes comes out with the red wig, like San Diego said, I'm giving
Yeah.
red wig energy. But that's the thing. You know how people like Lloyd Evans do those like stupid videos about money and stuff like that? I don't like that, so I get what you're saying. But
Yeah.
if we're all in all of this together, if we are in this together, we should be supporting this instead of other people who just make videos and they don't do anything. They don't go to a protest. They don't, make banners. They don't do anything. They're just making YouTube videos just for likes and clicks. You know what I'm saying? Like if they're not putting skin in the game, and no disrespect to other YouTubers, but in my opinion, making videos and doing lives and being here for the community is great. But if you're not willing to either put money or to put time and resources and energy into going to a protest or doing something like that, the way that we are doing, then you're just making YouTube videos. You're not really making any change. We're not here for a long time. Everybody has an expiration date. We're going to be gone soon. But while we're here and we're young and we have the energy and we have the platform, do something with it. Become a member, become something bigger than yourself. And if you don't have the money, then share the video. Engage with the algorithm so that it can go to more people. And hopefully somebody, if you do have extra money or, the money that I make from my YouTube, I'm going to donate it and put it right back into this, into the StreamYard, into what I'm doing. We're investing in ourselves. So we need to start doing that. So if you haven't already, become a member of Vern's channel.
Well, we burn computers out quick. You let them. We're on this all day. It's a full-time job. So here's what we make. I'm gonna be upfront with you guys. $228 a month. Can't hardly wipe my ass with that, but it pays the internet. It's not much, but there's a lot of work to make $225. So if you think you're going to get on YouTube, get 7,500 subscribers and get rich, forget it. This is charity work. So what does the internet cost? Well, I'm moving off grid. So far I've been scamming internet from the good people that bought the farm, but now we're looking at buying, we have to go to an Elon Musk internet to where we're going because there's nothing. It's out in the bush. Starlink, it's close to, well, here it's $189 a month. So to do this channel, I have to support that $189 a month. Let's pull this up just so you guys can do the math. There's no secrets here. We had 26 subscribers in the last month. A lot of people don't want to subscribe. What do subscribers do? It pushes the channel. Without subscribers, YouTube says, well, you don't have enough subscribers for me to push the channel. We're not going to push it. So half the JWs don't want to, exJWs don't want to subscribe because they're afraid they're going to get caught. Someone's going to see that they're on an apostate channel. So that's what we deal with. So this is charity work. $228. We have another, what is it for Clipchamp to make movies? It's another monthly subscription.
So it's about like 90, it's going to be 80 for StreamYard.
80 for StreamYard. What does it cost?
And 20 for the video editor.
20 for a video, for what, Clipchamp? Yeah, so the Clipchamp, we have a video editor. It's monthly fees. And it's how we put together media. It's a cheap one. You know, I know some of the other guys have some really good editors. They cost money. But there's some free ones. I use OBS a bit too. It's free. Then there's how do you learn how to use all this crap? There's hours and hours of time to figure out how to make all this stuff work. So the best way you guys can help us, watch the videos, watch the commercials. Everyone skips commercials. We don't get paid. The only way we get paid is the 228 is based on the watch time of our videos. So if everyone skips through the videos like I skip through Watchtower videos, we're not going to watch time, right? So,
but this is a good question. The World is a Stage says, but doesn't YouTube take a percentage? Yes, they do. So if you want to do it directly, do the PayPal that is in his bio because it goes directly to Shauna. Yeah. And I also have the Cash App thing on my thing too. But definitely support Vern's channel better than mine because he has more subscribers than I do. So I really want to push his channel first. You know what I'm saying? So definitely click that PayPal and do it
right here.
Directly.
If you guys, it's on our main site. That's where we don't talk about it a whole lot because I don't want to be. I don't want this to be all about money.
Just thank you for those that are asking about the other apps, but in Canada, we're limited from using a lot of those. Like it's not as straightforward to send money across the border. So thanks for asking. Appreciate that.
Yeah, so you can email us. You can find all the information under Fixing My Faith. That's where it all is.
And just keep watching.
Also on the videos. But the main way to support us is to watch the videos. The videos is what gives us and for any of the YouTube people out there, the ex-Jehovah's Witnesses, any of us out there, all of us are struggling. I can see it in other creators that are actually relying on this to make a living. And I can see by the way they're asking nicely for help. I can see it. I don't want to name them, but I can see it. And there's some younger guys out there that make fabulous videos. You know, I haven't seen MJ for a while, but this all takes time. These guys got to go. They're good at it, these young people. They're good with the programs, but they're good critical thinkers, but they have to go and make a living. There's not enough money on YouTube, on our small community. You see, if we put the same energy into Retired Our Way or something off grid, well, we're reaching out to 9 billion people, 9 billion people, you see. exJW community, how many exJWs are there? About 1 million. We're reaching out to 1 million people that's scattered throughout the earth. And there's only a few of them here and there. And there's a few of them only that are active on YouTube. We've only found 7,500 subscribers. But if you look at our history, it shows that that's only 40% of our viewers. Yeah. 40% is 7,500. So there's another 8,000 viewers out there that regularly view the channel, that subscribe, unsubscribe, subscribe. We see it. Subscribe, unsubscribe, subscribe, unsubscribe. We put out a video that they don't like, they unsubscribe.
Yeah, we get it.
We put a video that they like, they subscribe back. Oh yeah, he's with the program again. You know, it's not easy doing what we're doing. We're going out, we're facing you guys face to face. Half the people out there hide behind icons. They don't even want their faces shown. We don't care. Ruby and I don't
Yeah.
care. That's why I chose Ruby. She doesn't care. We need people that don't care about what we look like or what we sound like, but they need to see our faces. They need to see our energy, because half of the language spoken nowadays is spoken through facial expressions. It's not even spoken through words. Half our language is facial expressions. So if you really want to make a point, show your face.
And
Show
look at that
Watchtower that
comment.
you're serious.
Yeah, look at that comment, Vern. He says Vern needs to do more dancing. I love
do,
your
but I
dancing
have no
videos
room.
too.
I have no room in this shipping container. Remember, I'm in a shipping container. Oh, the curtain's
Yes.
off. So.
In the
But
future,
when we
need to have
get
more
settled, we are going to dance. We are going to move this channel in more of a positive direction. We have to. We have to talk about the psychology that we're all broken to a certain extent. Our brains. We were in a religion that we believed in. We get out, everything's broken. What do we trust? I looked at some stuff. I don't trust any of it. So then we come up with ideas. Oh, it's all a construct or something. It's all mechanical. But you see, if we do that, that's not the right way either. The earth is breathing. Everything's living around us. So if we look for it, we can find it. We can find love. We can find beauty. One of the things we don't do anymore is we don't ground ourselves to the earth. One of my very first videos was grounding. You know what that's about? Jesus grounded. He was in leather sandals. He was grounded to the earth. We wear rubber. We separate ourselves with rubber. So we hold all this energy in. I haven't been out grounding lately. I should get out grounding. I used to have a grounding pad just under my feet, and I'd plug it in. And then we're grounding to the earth. The body stores energy, and I metered it scientifically. I metered it. We store voltages. So once we ground, all that voltage goes away, goes to the ground. We're electrical beings. And when we create, sometimes we just need to get rid of this electricity that we hold. That's my theory. It's not a theory. There's a lot of research on it, but it's a bit of a theory too. Anyways, that's all I have for you today.
Awesome. I mean, do you wanna wrap it up for today?
Yeah, I'm pretty well done, I think.
Okay.
Anybody else out there have any comments?
You did hit on Denmark.
We did hit on Denmark. Denmark's going to be looking into the judicial thing, how they're doing judicial meetings. Watchtower has a lot of dodging to do. They got to play dodgeball, and every country's throwing a ball at them. Every country, Spain doesn't like what happened here. This isn't going away, and we got to talk about this. So it has to be, Watchtower has to throw away the coercion and the forcing of the blood doctrine and allow people to decide on their own. They can print a few articles, a few Awake magazines on it, and that's about it. But they have a way too much coercion and forcing. And that has to stop. And I think all of us all over the world, it's up to us to stop it. Speak out. Talk to it. Talk to your school teachers. Talk to people at work. Talk about this subject. Don't let them get away with sitting in the street corners, not even showing a Bible and handing out business cards. Don't let them get away with this. This was not how it was in the olden days when I was a JW. We actually cared about people. And we went out there and we cared about the Bible a bit more. We'd open it and read it. We'd let the Bible produce its own power. That's what I do to this day. The Bible produces its own power. Even though I might still believe that it's been all put together by men, and there's some problems with the Bible, I still believe that it's a good book if you use it in a good way. It's a good book. If you use it in a bad way, like anything, you can find, you got to die. Yeah, there's something in there about blood. You got to die. Death. You see, it's just, Jesus was not that way. So Watchtower is a destructive cult. There's no way else to see it. They're doubling down on this death sentence of blood. And that makes me angry. I'm sorry. People are dying. And we have to have a righteous indignation. And if people are dying, you got a righteous indignation. And people are lying in court, JWs, lying for the org, calling it theocratic warfare. We have to be angry about that. That's righteous indignation. It's wrong. These organizations should not be charities. We can't trust them in court. They're liars. Okay, that's it. Live your life with love. It's not that easy. It's a lot of work. We'll do some more talking about that in the future, but that's another show. Well, everyone, thanks for sticking with us, hearing all of our concerns. Thank you, Ruby, for talking about the channel and everything and helping out. Ruby helps us out a lot. A lot of people don't know that. If we're not around, she'll get on and fire up Joe and Fran's show. We're not even there. You guys don't know. No one knows. Ruby knows. Thanks, Ruby. Keep up the good work. And for everyone out there that's watching, keep up the good work. You guys are doing a good thing watching. This is important. Okay, what do we have? We have this news outro. We'll see you next Friday, hopefully, right? Thanks again. Bye. Bye for now.